tonight. For the first time in Fight Pass Invitational history, women top the bill as two of the sport's biggest stars face off in a highly anticipated rematch at the UFC Apex. Dominant Welsh grappler and ADCC champion Ffion Davis aims to prove that her 2022 victory over Adele Fornerino was no fluke.
I've worked really hard, not just these last 6 weeks, it's also these last 10, 11 years. All of that is coming into fruition for this match.
With a clinical rear naked choke win in their first encounter, Davis is ready to once again make her mark on the grappling world. But standing in her way is Australia's Fornerino, fresh off an electrifying run to double gold at the 2024 ADCC Championship. Hungry for redemption, Fornerino is eager to rewrite history and stake her claim at the top of the sport.
I felt like there wasn't a massive gap between me and her. Part of the next 2-3 years of training after that was just bridging that gap and making sure that I'm feeling comfortable on that stage, I'm feeling comfortable with the lights, and now we're going to see a different version of me here tonight.
It's the matchup between the two best in the world. Whose hand will be raised? In the co-main event, two titans of the mat meet in a high-stakes grudge match. Raquel Canuto, the hometown heroine, steps onto the mat for her 5th time. Perfect in her FPI appearances, Canuto looks to avenge her 2018 loss to Ana Vieira. Vieira submitted Canuto in the gi and wants to prove that she can also get the tap without it. With Canuto's undefeated FPI streak on the line and Vieira in relentless pursuit of supremacy, expect fireworks as both athletes hunt for the finish. Fierce rivalries, jaw-dropping submissions, unmatched talent. Live from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is UFC Fight Pass Invitational 11.
Las Vegas, Nevada is always buzzing as it's an iconic city that is often the setting for some of the biggest events in sports and entertainment. And tonight, the combat sports capital plays host to a stacked night of grappling. High stakes will be on the line in our main event as we see Ffion Davis take on Adele Fornerino. Live from inside the UFC Apex, you're locked in to the Fight Pass Invitational 11. Our broadcast is also available in Spanish. Alongside Michael Chiesa and B-Mac Brandon McCatherine, I'm TJ DeSantis. Thanks for joining us here for the Fight Pass Invitational 11. Michael, the jiu-jitsu world is going through a revolution, and it continues here tonight. We've got a stacked card with some history in our main event.
History in our main event because it's our first female main event between two of the best female grapplers in the world. We got the FPI powerhouse, Mason Fowler, making his return in what I believe could be our match of the night, Taka versus Rocha. I mean, top to bottom, this card is loaded. We got a lot of fun on the docket tonight, guys.
B-Mac, you were talking about this main event. You said it's not only important for us to make history, but this is important for the whole women's side of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I think this is probably the most important matchup that you can make in the women's division, no question about it. But this might be one of the coolest matchups you could make in the entire sport right now. You got the woman that I believe is probably the greatest female to ever do jiu-jitsu in Ffion Davis, taking on the woman who has probably the strongest trajectory of anybody in the sport right now in Adele Fornerino.
That is our main event that sits atop a stacked card. Let's take a look at some of the action that is headed your way. Ladies in our main event, but also they own the co-main event spotlight as we'll see the hometown hero in Raquel Canuto take on Ana Carolina Vieira. William Tackett makes his highly anticipated FBI debut. He takes on the undefeated FBI vet in Achilles Rocha. And Mason Fowler, an FBI tournament winner, he returns tonight to take on newcomer Cristiano Troisi. Let's talk about the main event. Ffion Davis owns that label as the best woman in jiu-jitsu. Michael, what can we expect from her tonight?
What we can expect is a well-rounded game, and when she's on top, her knee cut passing is some of the best in the sport of jiu-jitsu. She will cut through your guard like a hot knife through butter, and she is so dangerous with her back attacks and her arm locks. So you have to keep your limbs safe. As she passes your guard, she's going to force you to concede positions, and if she gets to your back, if she can't get the choke, she can hit that backside armbar. She can hit the armbar from her back. She can catch it anywhere, and she can wrestle as well. She's got one of the most well-rounded games in jiu-jitsu.
And B-Mac, the Aussie Fornerino, she's back tonight with redemption on her mind. She wants to avenge that 2022 loss.
Yeah, and she's a different grappler than she was 3 years ago. 3 years ago when they met, and you heard her say it in the open, she felt that there was a gap between the two athletes, and that each time that they've met, even if it was in training sessions, she's felt that gap start to close. But really, I think this matchup is about the mental side. She knows that she might be able to close the gap, but she hasn't done it yet. And so she has to find out, can she close that gap tonight? Can she get that done? We're gonna put it to the test tonight.
The table is just about set for an exciting night of grappling, but for more on our card tonight, we throw it to the fourth member of our commentary team. It is Morgan Worth standing by.
TJ, thank you so much. I'm with the woman who needs no introduction, Claudia Gadelha. Thank you for taking the time to chat with me. Big changes this time around. 3 5-minute rounds, a 10-point must scoring system in effect. What inspired these changes?
We tried in June of 2023. We tried this different rule set and worked very well, but we felt like we needed some time with the judges and the referees to make sure we sharpened the rule set. And we spent a year and a half kind of understanding what we need to do to make jiu-jitsu exciting. Jiu-jitsu is very methodical. It's hard for the hardcore MMA fan to understand jiu-jitsu, and we feel like we are getting there. We are starting to understand what the fans need. And hey, MMA has been around for 35 years and jiu-jitsu has been around for over 100 years. And MMA is way more developed because of the wow moments. And in order to create the wow moments in jiu-jitsu, we need to push the pace on these rounds. We need to make sure we let these competitors show their skills on the mats, and the 10-point must system is what we feel like will give them the opportunity to really fight all the way of the fight.
Well, I know you wouldn't make these changes without thinking about the athletes. So what has the general reaction been to this new change?
They love it. They love it because they feel like the jiu-jitsu old school rule set is very methodical, very slow, and you can't really progress much if you don't have people kind of guiding you and leading you when you are fighting. This way here, you're not getting 2-3 points if you get taken down. If someone take you back, you don't have to worry about anything other than a submission. And we want a lot of submissions in these events. We want the wow moments, and I feel like the athletes were waiting for this opportunity to go in there and throw a lot of submissions.
Well, we're certainly on our toes for the wow moments tonight. In terms of the broader landscape of jiu-jitsu, how is this going to shape the future of competitive grappling?
I think this will change jiu-jitsu forever. Like I said, jiu-jitsu has been around for so long, and we needed a company like the UFC to come in and organize the whole aspect of jiu-jitsu. We are coming in to change the game and to introduce this 10-point must system to the hardcore combat sports fan that already understand what happens in this type of environment. They are familiar with the 10-point must system in MMA, in boxing, and when they see that in jiu-jitsu, they will be able to understand jiu-jitsu better. And I think this will be what will help the jiu-jitsu fans to get excited about jiu-jitsu, and it will help the MMA fans that don't really understand jiu-jitsu to understand jiu-jitsu more, because now they only have to think about submissions, aggression, and not about the little details of the methodical way of doing traditional jiu-jitsu.
I'm certainly excited to see this in effect tonight. Claudia, thank you so much for your time. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Morgan. Let's take a look at our rules for the Fight Pass Invitational 11. 3 judges will score the bout. The 10-point must system is in effect. Our bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds. Judging criteria is based on initiation of bout-ending techniques, effective action, and control in that order. All right, time to get things started here tonight in Las Vegas. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for our first bout. A catch weight at 160 pounds between 2 black belts. Danny Myra, he is 33 years old, 10 years the elder of his opponent, and the Brazilian in João Asaniches. All right, for our official introductions, we go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the UFC Fight Pass Invitational 11, live from the UFC Apex, Las Vegas, Nevada. Our first match is scheduled for 3 rounds in a 160-pound catchweight bout. Introducing to you first, in the blue corner, with an official weight of 156 pounds, out of 5 Dallas, Texas, representing Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, João Asaniches. And in the red corner, with an official weight of 160 pounds, out of Movement Art, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Danny Myra. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
All right, ready to go here inside the UFC Apex for the FPI 11. It is the American Danny Myra taking on Joao Asmiches. TJ DeSantis along with BMAC, Brandon McCaffrey, Michael Chiesa, live mat side tonight for the FPI.
Myra pulling guard, getting started early. A couple of inversions, spins through. He's already got the inside heel hook.
He's playing a dangerous game with Joao because Joao's got a great heel hook game of his own. But with this new rule set, you got to get off to a fast start. We don't have that long 10-minute or 8-minute round that we're usually accustomed to. We got 3 5-minute rounds, so you got to get the party started early. You have to bring a lot of action. There's no time to feel your opponent out. You got to get right to your offense.
And you got to do that 3 times. You got to do that every round. Like, there's no time to wait around 3 times during the match. No, it's kind of crazy.
Leg game here early.
Yeah, both guys have some sort of straight ankle lock. That's more of an Aoki lock right there from Myra. And then what Asanitas is doing, he's putting that sideways pressure.
Yeah, I feel like Asanitas has a better bite on the leg.
He's got a better bite, but he is probably not the same level of danger as that regular straight ankle lock. Now, that sideways ankle lock there, like that's very like Diego Pato is smashing everybody with that right now. Definitely can be done, but there's a lot of delicacy to getting the technique exactly right.
Delicacy to a violent combat sport.
I know, that's the best part about it.
The gentle art, as they call it. I like what Myra's doing right here, working that 2-on-1. Look to see him work a little elbow pass, maybe try to get to the back.
We talk about this new round format, Michael. Are you expecting the leg game to unfold the way it is, or grapplers can be more consumed with trying to get top position and sort of assert that dominance?
I think we can still see the leg entanglement game, but just not as much of a feeling out process. You really got to get in there and you got to get to your attacks. Not as much time to set up your leg entanglements, and a leg entanglement can really burn a lot of time off the clock. So these guys have to train their attacks. You got to really bite on those subs. You can set them up, but you're not going to have as much time to go through the intricacies. Leg entanglements are the most technical aspect in jiu-jitsu. So you can't take away the technical aspect, but you got to speed things up and get to your attacks. You have to have a plan A. You have to have a plan A with your leg entanglements. You can't get into that position and kind of give yourself a lot of options. You have to have a plan A when you get to it, and then you can make your adjustments from there.
Just past the halfway point of this opening round.
Again, not a great angle here for Myra, but he is putting a little bit of pressure on him.
It looks like Asanitas is trying to get a grab on the trap of Myra. Maybe try to pull him into him, try to get to the back a little bit.
He just can't quite find the angle that he needs to apply that real straight ankle lock pressure. He put a lot behind that reverse grip heel hook. Nothing came from it. Now he's going to try to sneak under and go to the back.
Asmiches has a hold of that leg as well of Myra.
Keep working here, guys.
See, now this is where it gets tricky, is how do you score this? This is with 90 seconds closing out this first round. Someone's got to jump out front and do something big, get a good attack, get a good pass. As we're seeing Myra here get to a side control.
Oh, back to the closed guard. But, you know, in a close round like this, one little moment like that could be enough to give him the nod in the judge's eyes. And even though it was just a flash of a guard pass, but everything else has been basically even so far. Both guys attacking subs, but nothing too serious. Both guys attacking their passing, nothing too serious. And one little flash of a near knee on belly.
inside the final minute of round number 1.
Myra attacking the back here, and this will definitely get it.
This will definitely get him the round. And that's the nice thing about this rule set, too, is if you pass to a side controller, you get to the back.
He's going for a calf slicer.
You don't have to hold it for 3 seconds to get the points. So I think the judges will acknowledge the pass without having to secure it for 3 seconds.
He's putting a lot of effort into this, reinforcing his own leg. There he goes, going for the kamikaze style, but he didn't have the depth that he needed on his 2-on-1 with his legs on his truck position.
And Asanichas was smart to control the wrist, so Myra couldn't get 2 hands on the lock, and he ends up in side control to close out the round. That's big for Asanichas to close out the round in a dominant position.
Brazilian goes knee on belly, 10 seconds left.
If the primary criteria, though, is closest submissions, then definitely that calf slicer was the only real close submission, and it wasn't that close, right?
But it was the most one-sided.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, both guys were kind of attacking each other at the same time.
Breathe, man. Breathe.
1 down, 2 to go. Now the athletes get a minute rest. And Michael, we were talking earlier about tactics. That's where you're allowed to go to your corner now a couple times in each match and sort of readjust the game plan and try to figure out the best path to strategy after going a round or 2.
That's what I love about this. It gives these guys time, just like an MMA fight. You go, if things don't go your way in a round, you get to go back to your corner. You get to take in some advice, make some adjustments, and come out with a new game plan, or just go business as usual if you had a good round. So it's good to get this reset, much more of an MMA-style format. I'm a big fan of it.
You haven't seen. When you see opportunity, get up on top, pass his guard. You seen it all, bro. The card with nothing. That's all he had on leg locks, dude. He's not going to get it. Literally. Play your game. Keep doing it. All right, let's go.
All right, time for round number 2.
You ready? Start.
See what adjustments are made. Both men in
Guys gotta come forward.
simultaneously fashion take a seat, but now the Brazilian stands over Myra.
Myra just inverts and tangles the legs so effortlessly.
Both men were focused on legs, BMAC. Did you give either an advantage in what they were trying to work for?
No, I don't think so. I mean, until we got to the end of the round, I mean, it felt like it was incredibly even. And then we got a near guard pass from Myra. Then he goes to the truck position, tries the calf crank. But then he got his guard pass right at the very end of that. So, I mean, who knows actually how they're going to end up scoring that first round.
It's a good thing we brought in some of the best judges in the sport of jiu-jitsu to handle this, because I don't want to be a judge tonight. I'd rather sit in the booth with you guys and call the action. I've got the best seat in the house.
Absolutely. 1 minute down here in round number 2.
Asanichas put everything into the 50-50 here, but Myra tried to clear the 50-50, roll through, and he's going to try to use that to take the back. That's why Asanichas, as long as he's holding on to that ankle lock, even though it's not necessarily the ideal breaking angle, it does stop Myra from making his final movements that he needs to make.
Absolutely.
To get the back cleanly.
Myra pushing down on the legs there of Asanichas.
Trying to get his knee out of the danger zone here. Ooh. And Myra's got a good, he likes the barambolos, he likes the crab rides.
Toe hold.
Looking for a toe hold.
Pretty deep, too.
That's
pretty
nice.
nasty.
Grimacing, he's going.
Versus the heel hook.
Hey! Joao Asanichas is able to win the leg lock shootout. Gets a tap here over Danny Myra. Myra in some pain here. But what a win for Joao Asanichas. And it was fighting fire with fire, and the Brazilian's fire is what won the day.
Yeah, man, it's that classic toe hold versus inside heel hook battle. And even though the toe hold came on first, the inside heel hook is just, it's like the bazooka of leg locks. If you get that thing on, it doesn't matter what the other guy's got. If you get the break, it's bad. You're going to win that shootout. That's exactly what happened. Myra limping around out there.
Yeah, obviously in some discomfort, but it looked like he was going to secure that toe hold, but the Brazilian able to pull out the sub. All right, to make it official, we go to the mat with Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog calls a stop to the match in the second round, declaring the winner by submission, Joao Asanichas.
I'm here with your winner, Joao Asaniches. Joao, how did it feel to get the win in the opening match of tonight's card?
It feels amazing, man. It's an honor to be here. Do you mind if I talk something before?
Hey, it's all you, buddy. Go for it.
Guys, please, if you're here, if you're watching me from home, whatever you're watching me, please make sure you rely your life on Jesus, okay? He saved my life, and he can save yours. So please, if you're watching me, whatever you're at, any place in the world, please lay your life on Jesus. He's worth it, okay? He loves you, same as he loves me. Maybe you don't know him, but he knows you, okay? He knows your heart, so follow Jesus, amen.
That's a beautiful message. And I want to ask you, that was a relatively close first round. What adjustments, if any, did you make in between rounds after you went back to your corner?
I felt after the first round, he started slowing down the pace a little bit. So I felt that if I push a little bit more the pace, even though I'm tired, I got to keep pushing the pace because that's what the shows ask, right? You got to keep moving, keep attacking, okay? And that's it. I told Claudia, I told Stefan, I'm here to make a show. It doesn't matter who, doesn't matter where. I'm going to fight, okay? I'm ready for this.
Well, it was a beautiful submission, so why don't you take a look at your handiwork up on the big screen and talk us through the finish?
Yeah, he actually got a good bite on my heel, and he actually popped it. But we fighters, we got to keep fighting, and I got that inside heel. It's one of my favorite submissions, so I'm glad I got it.
Well, that was a huge feather in your cap. Give it up for your winner, Joao Asaniches.
Big win for Brazil's Joao Asaniches as he gets the leg lock submission here in round number 2. Joao with a wow moment.
Joao.
Absolutely.
TJ, that was funny.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You don't have a lot of those moments. That was really nice.
The night is young. Later on in our co-main event, we'll see that woman, Raquel Canuto, take the mat once again. Undefeated here inside the FPI rule set. We'll see what she can do when she takes on a very tough, familiar opponent in Ana Carolina Vieira. Ana Carolina Vieira, very familiar with Raquel Canuto, and tonight she comes in as the favorite, but she has to do it on hostile territory. We'll see that in our co-main event here in Las Vegas.
Not gonna stop till I'm proud. It began in 2005 with one simple question.
Do you want to be a fighter?
A groundbreaking competition that changed combat sports forever.
The craziest war I think I've ever seen. I'm coming back for more.
After 20 years of tough that produced 16 world champions, the toughest competition in sports marches on.
Don't touch each other. Don't touch each other.
16 warriors face off.
Give yourself a chance to become immortal.
For a shot at UFC stardom.
You're so disrespectful.
Guiding them on their quest, UFC legends Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen. Get ready for the 20th anniversary season of The Ultimate Fighter.
Attaboy! And there's some tough on this season.
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
He is a sniper, a master at knocking people unconscious. He's an absolute killer. And this is the toughest opponent he's ever fought. Rob Dwalishvili is a mauler. Incredible when you watch him melt guys. He's a machine. He literally is.
Dwalishvili is going to wrest the title away.
And
we will see that rematch.
You treat me like the enemy.
Sean O'Malley. Bring him here right now. Rob Dwalishvili.
He's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet.
Sugar Sean O'Malley.
Legit knockout power.
Try to bring me down.
The queen is home, and she's coming for that gold.
Kayla Harrison.
She's such a beast. Juliana Pena. She's the best bantamweight in the world.
This is my belt. Come and get it.
2 championship showdowns.
UFC X is your chance to step into the octagon, gather your fight crew, and immerse yourself in everything UFC. Meet your favorite UFC athletes, catch live panels, snag exclusive UFC merch, and more. Only at UFC X. Scan the QR code to lock in your tickets. The countdown to UFC's International Fight Week starts now. Our action continues here inside the Apex. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape for this bantamweight bout. We see Kevin Carrasco representing Aries BJJ. He takes on Sebastian Oyervidez representing Urban Jungle Self-Defense. For our official introductions, we go to Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match is scheduled for 3 rounds in the bantamweight division. Introducing to you first in the blue corner with an official weight of 134 pounds. Out of Urban Jungle Self-Defense and Thug Jitsu University, Houston, Texas, Sebastian Oyervidez. And in the red corner, with an official weight of 135 pounds, out of Aries Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Goodyear, Arizona, Kevin Carrasco. And when the action begins, your referee in charge, Vitor Shaolin.
Bantamweight's ready to go on the mat here at the FBI.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's fight.
It is Kevin Carrasco in the black, Sebastian Oyervidez in the beige. I should note, Oyervidez out of the Thug Jitsu Academy. That's a trademark of Eve Edwards. He wanted me to say that.
Okay.
Hey, you can't talk about the greatest lightweights on the planet without mentioning Eve Edwards. Just a legend of the sport.
Absolutely. We'll see if his charge can perform tonight. He's on his back here early on in round number 1.
135-pounder, so we're going to see a lot of fast movement, a lot of flexibility, a lot of really interesting guard work. Oh, trying to jump to the triangle early.
You know, in Oyervidez, one thing that's very interesting for me is this is a guy.
Oh, my gosh.
Undefeated as an amateur and a pro, all first-round submission wins as an MMA fighter. And you know, anytime an MMA fighter is competing in high-level jiu-jitsu matches, they're going to fight at a very high pace.
Yeah, he fought his way out of that armbar, I'll tell you that.
Great opening shot from Carrasco. He's just leapt into that attack, man.
These gentlemen,
the head.
These gentlemen know the assignment here, kicking off the Fight Pass Invitational with some action.
One thing about guys that compete in MMA and grappling at a high level, one of the best attributes they have as a grappler is the ability to scramble. The ability to scramble through tough situations, have good submission defense, and like I said before, fight at a very high pace.
And check this out. Oyervidez playing this big boy jiu-jitsu body lock, trying to smash through the guard of Carrasco. Turned into a knee cut. Nice reaction so far. Triangle choke! Oh, he's got that one. That's ice, baby. He's got that.
That's tight.
Oyervidez in some serious trouble here.
His saving grace right now for Sebastian is the fact he has his right arm draped around the left leg of Kevin.
So listen, he's going to have to do some things to cinch it up, but he's got everything he needs to build the finish right here.
He might have to take a risk, since he has a grip with his left hand on his shin, is to unlock his legs, put his left knee behind his foot, push his right leg towards his chest. Oh, he's looking for a teepee right here.
With an early candidate for submission of the night.
Wow, that was incredible.
Hey, you don't see that one all that much, but that's that old school. Can't finish the triangle, go to the teepee. That was incredible.
Let's take a look, B-Mac, walk us through.
Well, you can see on the triangle choke, there's too much of the shoulder on the inside, and he can feel, Michael and I were talking about, he just doesn't have the angle, so he goes with the pinch instead. Both hands go around the outside of the knee. He straightens everything and decides to compress that space down in a different way. See how he extends everything out. Arms pinched together, knees pinched together, and it puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the neck, and it can also put you to sleep as well.
Yeah, Sebastian Oyervidez forced to tap. Let's make it official. We go to the mat with Justin Bernard.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Vitor Shaolin calls a stop to the match in round number 1, declaring the winner by submission, Kevin Carrasco.
I'm here with your winner. Whoa, hey, I need you for a second, buddy. I'm here with your winner, Kevin Carrasco. Kevin, you're going against a guy undefeated as an MMA fighter, all first-round finishes. Was your game plan to come out here and push a high pace from the early moments of this match?
100%. I know that people who are in the MMA, you know, they're really tough, push the pace, but so am I, especially in this kind of rule set. I want to showcase it. Whether or not I win or lose, I want to give that performance.
You know, and as I was studying a lot of your matches, you do a lot of gi jiu-jitsu. Is your plan going forward to do a lot more no-gi grappling, or are you just a competitor and you'll just take it as it comes?
No, 100% I'll be available for no-gi. I should not be putting that away. It's something that I want to look forward to going on in my career. Gi and no-gi should be more hybrid.
Well, that was an early candidate for submission of the night, so why don't you take a look at the big screen up here and talk us through the finish?
Yeah, so we got the foot sweep. That was something I'm really confident on doing, making sure I'm trying to be on top right here on the triangle. It's just something I usually do when they hug around the body. Got that TP choke. Right when I had my hands locked in, I knew it was set.
Well, that was an incredible submission. Congratulations on the win. Give it up for the winner, Kevin Carrasco.
Kevin Carrasco getting it done with some style points with that submission here at the FPI 11. Our night just getting started. For more information on what you can expect, we go back to Morgan Worth.
Thank you, TJ. Straight ahead, BJJ black belt Alex Enriquez returns to the Fight Pass Invitational stage on a mission to find a finish. Riding the momentum of a rear naked choke win in March, the Atos athlete plans to put her wrestling background on display for 15 minutes or less against Vegas's Shy Lily. Stepping in on 2 days' notice, 20-year-old Lily wants to make a splash in her Fight Pass Invitational debut. The 10th Planet student has the goal of notching her 30th career submission against Enriquez tonight. The flyweights get going next, and later, Adele Fornerino looks to settle the score with Fionn Davis as the ladies top the bill. Our coverage of the Fight Pass Invitational 11 continues exclusively on UFC Fight Pass.
UFC International Fight Week is back in Las Vegas, June 25th through June 29th, where fans converge for exclusive events. Celebrate the 2025 induction class at the UFC Hall of Fame ceremony. Plus, UFC X returns with athlete autograph sessions, meet and greets, and fan favorite activities. And cap off the week at UFC 317, live from T-Mobile Arena. Don't miss UFC International Fight Week 2025 in Las Vegas. UFC is back in Vegas on May 31st. Top-ranked women's flyweights take center stage as the cold-blooded Erin Blanchfield collides with the future Macy Barber for 5 rounds. Also, a lightweight slugfest between Poland's own Mateusz Gamrot and Ludovic Klein, and more. On ESPN and streaming on ESPN+.
This is as real as it gets, and it's mind-blowing.
I love everything about that fight.
These are the moments that the fighters live for.
I can't wait. Oh! Kicked him in the face.
Oh, Rose!
We will all witness a piece of UFC history.
Unbelievable!
You're sitting at home watching this, and you just go, holy shit.
The double tap does what he wants!
Master, teach me Kung Fu.
One of the most epic fights.
There's nothing I do better in this life than fighting.
Unbroken, baby. This team is unbroken. We have a sport with some of the best athletes in the world.
Boom!
One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see! Oh! The UFC has never been stronger.
It does not get any better. Oh, that looks good.
This is